welcome to the Adventures of Raising Grands, The Lowdown. Thanks for watching. And remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Somebody that you know may need to see this. This episode is about things that we do with our grands in hopes to give you ideas of things that you can do with yours. Most of the activities are geared at younger children, such as preschool or early elementary, but they can be adapted for older children as well. First, we're going to start off talking about things that can be done inside on a rainy day or even on a snow day. I'd like to start with an old-fashioned good standby, and that's coloring. Just a good old coloring book and crayons. That's good for any child, and even adults. Nowadays, they have adult coloring books. Another old standby would be board games. They actually still have lots of board games out, even some of the old ones, like Life and Operation, Candyland, and The Clue. Our kids love to play these games. They also have new board games out that I've had to read the directions to figure out how to play, but they're also very much fun and educational. Play-Doh. Play-Doh is actually very educational if you let it be. It's also a great sensory tool for small children. If you use the Play-Doh to make them letters and then have them make creatures or items that match that letter, such as cutting out the letter A with a cookie cutter, or you can just roll and make a snake and then make it into the letter A, and then have them make like an apple and then make an anteater or an ant. This way they're learning as well as playing. Another thing that we'd really like to do is to paint rocks. You can paint anything that you want. You can purchase statues to be painted, or you can even paint just paper and make beautiful paintings to hang up on the wall. But we like rocks, so we can hide them later. Another great thing to do is building things. You can build with all different types of blocks. We have leftover pieces of wood that we use, as well as Legos and foam blocks. But one of our favorites is dominoes. We love to set up the dominoes throughout the house. And then when you push one down and they all go tumbling after, Monkey just laughs and laughs. He really enjoys it, except it takes a lot of dominoes. Next, I want to talk about cooking. Cooking is a great thing to do on a day that you can't get outside. You could cook either just the regular meals, or you could cook something special like cookies and cakes and things like that. Our grands love to cook, whether it's just regular meals or something special like cakes and cookies. They love to help. Our little sunshine loves to stir. That is her favorite thing to do, is to stir the bowl. She'll find a spoon and a pot and she'll stir, whether there's anything in it or not. And our little Monkey is our egg cracker. Anytime that we need an egg cracked, he cracks it. Mind you, we have to give him a separate bowl because sometimes he still gets shells in it, but that's okay because he's learning and he's doing a great job. Another thing our grands love is puzzles. They have lots of puzzles, different types of puzzles, and even the ones that cover the whole floor. But one of my favorite types of puzzles is to take one of those paintings that we painted earlier and cut it up and see if they can put it back together. There's something kind of neat about putting your own puzzle back together, and they really like it. Another thing that we do often is have tea parties. Our girls are very much into playing in their play kitchen and having little tea parties. Monkey, not so much, but he'll participate just for fun, and I think it's just because he likes the cookies. Believe it or not, another great thing that you can do is clean the house. It still amazes me how much small children, not big kids, like to help you clean. Our sunshine is constantly trying to get the broom away from me so that she can broom the floor. And Monkey, all you have to do is give him a rag of any kind and he's wiping down surfaces and cleaning. He loves to dust. I can't remember the last time I dusted. Another old standby is hide and seek. Hide and seek's a great game to play because you tell the kids to hide and then you forget to seek. We do that. We blame it on our old age, but you never know. Again, another idea would be crafts. If you're not a very crafty person, you can always pick up craft kits at different local stores or even on Amazon. Everything that you need to make the craft is inside the box. And kids love to make things. And you can use them for Christmas gifts or birthday gifts for other family members or even their teachers. And finally, one more thing that you can do inside, and that's read books. You can read to them or they could read to you. If they're not quite old enough to read the words, they can always look at the pictures and then make the story up as they go along. This is something that's very educational and really helps the children to learn. You can also make your own books, have them color pictures, and you help write the words, and make their own book, and then they can read it to you later at bedtime. Now let's move to the outside, the things that you can do with your grands outside on a beautiful day. Again, we'll start with some of the old standbys, like riding bikes and taking a walk, or just playing in the backyard, playing catch with a ball, playing kickball, or even if a sandbox, if you have it. There are many things that you can do around your own yard, at your own house. Another thing that you can do is go to a park. Hopefully there's a park near your house. And if not, you may have to go looking a little bit harder to find one. Playgrounds are lots of fun. And there's lots of things to do. As well as that, while you're there, you could also do treasure hunts or just nature walks. A treasure hunt is where you send the kids to look for something to bring back to you, such as a flower, maybe a flower of a certain color, or a rock, or even a pine cone. Sending them on these little treasure hunts, the older they are, the more difficult you can make it. Give them more than one thing at a time to go look for. They don't know it, but it's actually educational, and it teaches them to follow more than one direction at a time. Another thing that we like to do with our kids is the game called I Spy. And this can actually be done inside too, but we normally do it outside when we're on a walk or in the car. You know, the game where you say, I spy with my little eye something blue, and then everybody else tries to guess what you're looking at or thinking of. My little monkey just loves that one. We play it all the time in the car. Another thing that you can do with your grands is plant a garden. You can plant a flower garden or a vegetable garden or both, because you know that kids love to get dirty. And then there's always going back out and playing in the dirt some more when you're weeding and harvesting. It can teach kids where our food comes from. Again, I love educational things, if you can't tell. Something else that a lot of little kids like to do is to catch bugs. But you don't have to catch them, you can just observe them. Looking for bugs and different types of bugs and finding out what they're called is something great to do with your grands. And again, I know, it's educational. But I love looking for bugs. My favorite bug happens to be the stick bug, one that looks like it's a little branch. I always thought it was so cool to find them outside on the trees. And this will keep the kids busy looking for different types of bugs. Except for Monkey. Monkey's very afraid of bugs, and he freaks out even if he sees one. So this game's not a lot of fun for him. And if you're lucky enough to live up north where it snows, then there's lots of things that you can do outside in the snow. You can make snow angels and build snowmen and snow forts, have snowball fights, go sledding, ice skating, skiing. There's so many things that you can do outside with your kids, even in the snow. Make sure that you're getting them outside so they can get some fresh air, because fresh air is very important. There's this thing that I like to call summer science. It's not really all about science, but it just kind of got that name and it stuck. What it is what I do with my kids, and not my grands, during the summer, when they're off and they're bored and they're not learning anything. I try to find something educational to do. And usually it's like a theme for the whole summer. For our grands last summer, we chose to do two things because we couldn't decide which one. We chose butterflies and crystals. We got caterpillars and we watched them turn into chrysalises, and then we watched them turn into a butterfly, and then we let them go in the front yard. It was really cool for the kids. They loved to get up every morning and run out and see if the chrysalises had opened yet when we were waiting for the butterflies. And when we let the butterflies go, we let them sit on each one of their finger before they flew away. It was really fun and very educational for the kids. As far as the crystals, we did a lot of studying on different types of crystals and where they're found. And then we grew our own from a kit that we bought off of Amazon. It was real easy to do, and we did it with them, and then every morning they got up and they ran out to see how the crystal had changed overnight. It was really neat. Even I was grabbing the flashlight and checking out what they looked like after the kids went to bed so that I was not in their way. I'm not really sure what we're going to do this summer for our summer science. I do know that I did quite a few different things with my kids when they were growing up, such as ducks. We had a pet duck one summer, and we learned all about ducks and how they lived, and everything that you could know about ducks we knew. Did you know that ducks' eyelids actually blink up and not down? It was very different. And they will eat anything. They'll even eat chicken. We had lots of fun that summer with that duck. Another thing that we did was we sewed. I taught my children to use a sewing machine. One summer, they learned to pin patterns and cut out material, and they both made a pillow and a pair of pajama pants. Another summer, we did cooking contests. Actually, I think we did that a couple summers. One summer, we did all about desserts and cookies. And then another summer, we did all about hamburgers. We would make different types of hamburgers. We would top them with different toppings, or we would stuff them with things to find out who could make the best hamburger. It was a lot of fun, and I believe my kids were probably in middle school before we actually started doing some of the contests with them. Before that, we also did birdhouses. We talked about birds, learned about different types of birds that were in our area, used binoculars to watch birds, and we made birdhouses from a birdhouse kit from the craft store. We even painted our birdhouses. We also made little bird feeders using pine cones, peanut butter, and birdseed. Anything that we could do to attract the birds to come to our area so that we could watch them and study them. Again, very educational, and the kids didn't even know they were learning. And I just think that's very important, that when you're spending that time with the kids, is not just spending time and wasting time, but you're making memories with them and showing how much you love them. Because that is the reason why we're raising our grands. It's because we love them. Now it's time for the Adventure Challenge. The Adventure Challenge is when we challenge you to do something with your grands and send us a photo. Our email address is at the end of this video. And we will be sharing those photos on later episodes. This episode's challenge is to send us a photo of you playing with your grands, doing an activity that you love, maybe even something educational. Here's some photos of our grands doing this week's challenge. Thanks for watching this episode of The Lowdown. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Somebody you know may need to see this. If you have any other ideas and activities that we didn't talk about today, we'd love to hear from you. So please, comment below. And don't forget to send in those photos.